Y'all listen up as I narrate the Vector's tale. A man from afar riding the temporal gale. Ronin by name and a Ronin by fate. In the tapestry of time he's got a date. He ain't just saving, he's exploring the rift. In the timelines he travels, he's given a lift. Seeking tech and secrets in a world that's gone astray. Ronin's the man who's gonna find a way. Ronin Vector, the chrono navigator. In the flow of time, he's the prime innovator. Exploring the realms where few dare to venture. He's the Ronin Vector, the timeline's avenger. From a future so bright to our present so bleak, he's the silent watcher, the tech he does seek. Not just a savior, but a seeker of lore. Ronin's the key to what we're looking for. Through the ruins and the relics, he's making his mark. A beacon of hope in the timeline so dark. With every secret he finds, every piece he retrieves. He's crafting a future nobody believes. Ronin Vector, with a vision so clear. In the shadows of time, he's got nothing to fear. An explorer at heart, with a will that won't sever. He's the Ronin Vector, forever and ever. So when you feel the ground shake and the air gets colder, know that Ronin's passing by as the world grows older. In the whispers of time, his legends inscribed. Ronin Vector, the man who defied. Ronin Vector, the chrono navigator. In the flow of time, he's the prime innovator. Exploring the realms where few dare to venture. He's the Ronin Vector, the timeline's avenger. Ronin Vector, with a vision so clear. In the shadows of time, he's got nothing to fear. An explorer at heart, with a will that won't sever. He's the Ronin Vector, forever and ever. So when you feel the ground shake and the air gets colder, know that Ronin's passing by as the world grows older. In the whispers of time, his legends inscribed. Ronin Vector, the man who defied.
Hello and welcome to the Ronin Vector Show. I know, I can't believe I'm back either. That's right, we're here and back for some Fallout action, one of my original loves. It's a version of your timeline that never left the 60s and the 50s. And now it's online. Now this future has gotten worse, you could argue, because what is hell if not other people? But welcome back to the Ronin Vector Show. It is me, Ronin Vector, a traveler from a far distant timeline, come to experience everything your lovely timeline has to offer. And let me get my windows here all proper. There we go. Oof, man, look at that. I gotta fix the chat. It looks so tiny on there. Why is it so tiny? You know, if I were a better person, actually, let's see. Maybe if I'm really careful, I can fix it now. Let's see if such a thing is possible. Because using this as a guide, I should be able to make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Just pretend like you didn't see this. And I did good. Although now the size is a bit leaving something to be desired. Well, if the chat goes off the screen, it goes off the screen. Problems for later. I had this all nice, you know? But it is what it is. All right, so I have never actually done Fallout 76 on stream. I've talked about it for a long time, mostly because I wasn't sure it would be fun. Believe it or not, I played this game when it came out originally, years ago now. Shit, like 4 years, 3 years. And there was just nothing to do. The game was not done. I have some screenshots from back in the day of like what a buggy mess the game looked like, and my God, day and night. Some people are pissed off about the recent update that they did, which not only changed how camps work, the way building works, but it changed a lot of the combat mechanics too with perks. So, like if you played last year, whatever build you were using is probably not going to be as good as it was. And I learned that pretty quick, but it's been working out for me. I didn't know how to build a proper build anyways, and I'm the kind of guy that kind of just likes to learn myself. I don't like looking up strategies on how to play the game or how to build characters. I think it's more fun. I think that's like part of that RPG mechanic that people miss out on because they want to min-max everything, right? Dungeons and Dragons is like the example of that. Well, no, I'm going to be the elf to get the resistance to whatever, and that's not how I roll. I'm all about fun first and superiority along the way. That's my thing. Which obviously leads to some mixed results. So with that said, I came in. We're going into this game not completely new. I had a nice basis to start with. I think I was level 150, 130 or something like that when I started. When I got back into the game, maybe like 2 weeks ago. So we had a good basis to kick off from. And now that I'm reacquainted with the game, familiarized myself with the update, I am good to go. I can kill just about anything as long as it's not too focused on me. I'm very squishy, but I'm not going to lie. I went Stealth Archer. I never went Stealth Archer in Fallout, so here I am. And I mean a literal archer with a bow and arrow. And there I am, in all my glory. Now, the jumpsuit's not perfect, but it's good enough for my purposes. It's a good-looking jumpsuit. For anyone wondering what I'm doing right now, we are gathering buffs. So, for example, sleeping in a bed will grant you an XP boost. Using the bike here will give you a endurance boost. We've got a bowling alley on the roof and a little miniature bowling alley, like a little toy one. Each gives you a bonus to luck, but one gives you a bonus to charisma and the other perception, I believe. And then, behind these two buff-giving machines, I have to admit, I do like this kind of stuff. I think it's neat to give you a reason to, give your character hobbies in the game or fun things, because it's not like the buffs are terribly useful. You know, it's a +2 increase, so it's respectable. It lasts about, I think, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that, maybe an hour at the most. I believe the sleeping buff lasts maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours, while all the other buffs are about like a half hour or so. Perception, yep. So each one gives you luck, but one's charisma, one's perception. And then my last buff, or actually not my last one, but my last special stat buff increasing machine. I think this increases agility. So they're not must-haves. Like if you never had these things in your game, you probably wouldn't miss them. But if you have them, why not? Like I got this baby from a free event, the Alien Invaders event. I forget what the name is, but I'll do a little tour of where I live too, and we'll talk more about what we're setting out to achieve tonight. All right, got our music buff, got our special stat buffs, got our sleeping buff. We are buff as hell. So let's take a little look-see about what we're looking at here for the uninitiated, and give a little peep for a somewhat noobish player by what they're doing here. So this is my camp, my little domicile. I decided to choose an area of the map that had relatively like high-level stuff around it, and being near a body of water, so I could place my little boat there. And it came, I guess, pre-installed with a dock, you could say. And I actually placed this house before the big update, so everything you see here is pretty much built upon using the old rules of things. So you could see like the house is kind of just hanging off to the side there. It's completely blocking the path from the back to the front. I basically just had to put it wherever it fit. But I think it worked out. I kind of like how it sits. I do kind of want to dress this up a little bit better so it's just not a big corner hanging off like that. And I do, now that we have the new building rules, I can actually put some stairs here pretty cleanly without doing weird shit. I just haven't gotten to it. So here's our main power generator there. Makes it so everything that protects me, like my wonderful rocket turrets or laser turrets, or, can fire off, protects me from all the filthy varmint that lie around here. I got this ghoul companion I got from like a seasonal reward that just ended from last season. Not really sure that they do much, but she's kind of fun to look at. What else? I'll briefly describe the outside here. I've got a couple of resource giving objects here. We've got the Mirelurk steamer for food, bait barrel, more food, little water generator. Sometimes I see people with tons of water generators, and I don't know why. I don't know who needs that much purified water, but somebody needs it. My little beer stein display case, I only had one, so I just stuck it inside the robot. This is my junkyard steel paw robo dog. This guy collects like electronics for me and whatnot. That's what I have it set to. I believe it can go collect other stuff. And I've got my other robo dog. His His little dog house is outside in this carport area where I've got all my power armor frames stored. I'm still working on filling them out, but I have them out here for now. It's where I work on the old power armor. And I like this view, I'm not going to lie. I like having this little waterfall here. I like it that this kind of goes out into the water. It's a fun little thing. We got my entrance here. This goes into the living room. Got some classic living room stuff. You got to have your mall swords on the wall. In reality, these are just like quest rewards you can get from any event that drop. Oh, my other dog, the newer one that doesn't look all rusty. Hey, buddy. He just brought me a weapon. It's a common thing they do is bring legendary weapons of all values. So it's nice. It's like free stuff. I'll take it. Now, it's free in the way that I had to pay for it with atoms, which may or may not be free currency, depending upon what you're working with. In this case, I managed to get that guy for free, but there are things I did pay for, I admit. Like, for example, I hate to do this to you, little guy, but we're going to go ahead and bring out one of the other animals. I tend to be a cat guy, and it's actually unusual for me to have a dog, for anyone that knows anything about me. Let's see, I forget which is which. There's one of these cats is, Graydon, Tabby, Sphinx. Let's do the Sphinx cat. I haven't done this Sphinx cat yet. Put him inside because he's an indoor cat and I want him to live. There you go. Look at that little freak. Who's a little guy? Yeah. You leave butthole puckers everywhere, don't you? So I should mention too, before I get more into the tour, I am using a mod. I only use one mod. It's the Reshader mod. You've probably seen me use it on my stream in the past, but I typically use an HDR like simulated shader with adaptive sharpen to kind of clean up the textures a little bit. So if you're wondering why it might look a little bit better, a little bit darker than usual, it's because I am cheating a little bit. Just a little bit. Don't tell Bethesda. Don't tell them. But yeah, I'm cheating just on a graphical front. Purely just to make it look better. I would never cheat because I wouldn't respect myself if I did. I like my accomplishment, not other people's accomplishment. I mean, I don't mind riding on coattails, but I'm not going to pretend reality is different. That cat just exposed its open butthole to me, which is why, like, hairless cats kind of freak me out a little bit. I love all cats. Don't get me wrong. You hand me a hairless cat, I'm going to love it like any other cat. But you can't help but look at him and be like, you're a little freaky. You're a little freak cat, and you know it. We're going to give that cat a bow. Warm him up a little. Where'd you go, buddy? There you are. Is it? Looks like it's wearing one already? Whatever. Now you have two. Good job. See, look, now you're not naked. Don't you feel good about your life? Pets. You get pets. You do. Oh my God, what is going on? I tell you, these things were not meant to have non-fur textures. I mean, I don't know, maybe if I paid attention, it wouldn't look right normally. Like, do cats normally have humps like that? I don't know. Let me see. I got 3 cats around here. Yeah, my cat don't have a hump like that. I'm 60% sure. All right. So that's my cat. It was a robo-dog. Now it's a cat. You can only have one. This is confusing, okay? You can only have one pet active at a time. So a pet is an animal that does nothing but fetch you weapons and something you can give pets. Not to be confused with collectors, which in this case takes the shape of a robo-dog. Not a pet, a collector. So, just so I know it's if you don't play the game, it sounds like a stupid, useless separation of roles, but that's what it is. This is like general storage, ammo, scrap box for scrapping. I do have Fallout first. Don't judge me. Yes, I like to loot. Don't make fun of me. I'm very fragile that way. We got the aid box, which is also a more recent Fallout first subscription thing. So both the aid storage box and the scrap box, for as long as you're subscribed, you have access to these storage units that are unlimited storage. So before you didn't have to worry about scrap if you were subscribed. Now you don't have to worry about drugs and scrap. This does not cover magazines, stealth boys, purely drugs. Like, you have to be able to ingest it or put it in your body. So, because there are other aid items. It's not all aid items. It's only drug-related items. So you could see in here I have, like, inert flux. Got a bunch of magazines. In fact, we should go ahead and fill out this magazine rack. Am I right? I can use it right. Yeah, this baby can hold up to 20. Look at that. Looking like a proper place. So, storage units. Ammo box is... I'm guessing the ammo storage box is also Fallout first, is my guess. But also, yeah, ammo. And the only non-storage related thing would be my special deck selector. So for those who've only played maybe Fallout 4, or technically this works different from every other Fallout game. I mean, if you're familiar with 4 and 3 in New Vegas, you know that you have perks. In this case, they kind of selected it and separated it all into like a deck format. So your special points gets allocated to whatever you put it in. Each card is worth something, and that costs a certain amount of special points. So it's the most different system they did, but I think it works all right, you know? Right now we're going with a Team Archer build, since they made some of the charisma stuff a little more useful. So I'm trying to be a team player, providing some help. Normally I would go with like the samurai build that pretty much got me through the vanilla game. And you can see that it's got a stronger emphasis on strength and melee. Nothing emphasized in teamwork outside of the tenderizer perk. You know what? That's something we have to look up. So I'll finish giving the tour, but as I do, we'll talk about our objective. Here's our kitchen. Got a nice little display case. Got some more resource-giving stuff. Cigarette machine. An apothecary-like vending machine. My vending machine. This is what I'm selling. I basically only sell Enclave weapons. So you can see I'm selling a bunch of different basic Enclave weapons. We got one with a legendary on it. I'm selling Enclave plasma weaponry and cheap plans. Stuff I already got. Probably stuff everybody has, but for 50 caps, if you don't already have it, I figure it might be tempting. I buy 50 caps. If a plan only costs 50 caps and I don't have it, why not? Right? That's what I say. Don't be so stingy. See, I got another one here I can sell. And I'm going to sell it for 100 because I got it from an event. Although, if I already have this twice, that means everybody already has it. So, you know what? See, that's what I'm talking about. I can't get greedy. I got to sell it for next to nothing to move this stuff. That's it. Easy peasy. Got a nice little beer vending machine. I don't really use this thing, but I kind of just like that it exists. I like the idea that somehow this thing gets refilled and I can just get a mystery beer anytime I like. I have to believe all these beers are disgusting, though. I do not believe in a system where this thing pumps out unlimited beer and they all taste great. But I do love my mystery drink. Like, if I go to a bar and they have, like, a mystery shot special for, like, $4 or $5, I am on it, baby. Last time I went to some arcade bar and I got the mystery shot for, like, $4, and it was Amaretto. It was good stuff. Oh, my crafting room. Not really much to say here. Just, it's where the magic happens. You'll notice, if you look through my cards here, as per usual in Fallout games, I started with a crafty heavy build, and I don't regret it. It's allowed me to build up my stuff pretty easily. Get rid of some of my extra cards here. Perk coins are the new law of the land here in Fallout Town. We want as many as we can get. I may as well just rank this puppy up. I'm not a ghoul, but it's cool that I have the animated card. That's another thing. It's dumb, like some of the things I'm starting to appreciate. I don't know if I'm just getting Stockholm Syndrome from this game, or if I'm actually starting to like it, but like I think it's a cool little detail. Like some of the perk cards you get are animated. So it gives you a reason to keep collecting cards that you already have. So like, oh, well, I have two of the same card. One's animated, one's not. I wonder which one I'll sacrifice for perk coins, which let you buy legendary perks. So I like it. Call me a simple child, but I like it. Increase environment glow intake 15% on armors, double if wearing matching set. So if I was a ghoul, I could probably stack that with the other armor perk and endurance, because there's one that basically does the same thing on that as well, and doubles it if you're wearing a matching set. I would, based on what I know about ghouls, I would never willingly become one, and maybe I'll discuss that later if I remember enough about it. But yeah, you could see that I definitely had an emphasis early on crafting, hacking, lockpicking, and the like. This is my ammo room, and I just keep a random mini nuke launcher here, I guess. I'm not really sure why. Oh yeah, it's actually not too shabby if I ever get into mini nukes. Because vampire health over 2 seconds, especially if you're using it in a large crowd. I mean, who needs a stem pack? I fire one of these babies out, right? And you're going to be reloading all the time with this, so that 500 plus resistance, am I right? And, holy shit, yeah, I forgot. Almost the best part. Last round in magazine has a 25% chance to deal 100% damage, which is great because every single round is the last round, which means every shot has a 25% chance to do double damage. I'm going to use it one day. I got to build something around it, but yeah, it's all right. It's all right. But ammo converter, where I basically take all my shitty ammo and convert it into plasma cartridges when I'm in desperate need. Just a blank room, some more ability to hang up weapons. I'm sure we'll fill it up. Another power armor stand. This is probably the next best set. Let me see. I might slap the right arm. Do I have a right arm on this guy? No. Do I have anything? Left arm, regular armor. May as well throw that on this guy. I find this is useful for... Excuse me. I find these display cases are useful for kind of spreading out your power armor pieces, because everything you put in your stash that's non-junk related does take up weight. So if you can equip it to stuff like power armor, I believe that helps kind of alleviate that weight. You have to remember that it exists so you can, use it down the line. But it does help alleviate some of the weight problems if you're a big fat hoarder like I am. That's it. This is really more focused on survival and just getting things set up. This is technically the second base I've made. The first one was really just dog shit, nothing. It was just a steel tower with some stairs, and it was just a drop in and out of. So this is my first somewhat real attempt at a base. It's meant to be more functional than anything. Oh yeah, I got a little snowman up here. That's why it's snowing. It's a special device that makes it snow. I wasted points on it. I don't know why. I thought it might help with fishing. And then I put this over here because why not? Looks cool. A little bit of flavor, Look at that little guy. See, I don't think I could have done that before without doing some real weird shit with the way the building worked before, but now you can just kind of clip stuff into each other, put it in free mode. So I dig it. I dig those changes. Whatever negative combat stuff happened as a result, I'm not mad at personally. So with that being said, that's our estate here. Let me see if I can get another angle of it. Relatively well protected. Fully staffed, fully resourced. So I like it. It works out for me. I've been trying to brainstorm some new ideas. So if by chance you're watching this in the future, leave a comment. Talk about a good theme for me to go for. And I can maybe start going for stuff in the atom shop that helps, towards that goal. I might be leaning towards something more sci-fi because they got a lot of cool sci-fi looking stuff, but it could be cool to do like a raider encampment, something like that. I don't know. I'm still working it out. I don't really have a solid collection of stuff. I feel like it's kind of random. Like this nice boat and that nice house don't really go together in any kind of specific theme other than it kind of looks cool together. So I'm looking for a theme. If you can think of a good theme to go with, something that goes outside of you should make a Nuka-Cola museum. It's got to be something niche, something I can really hone in on. I've seen museum type stuff that have taxidermy type themes. I've seen flying saucer, alien based stuff. So I want to think of something that's that's a little more unique. I got to start visiting other players' settlements too to see what they're doing to give me ideas. Because shit, even the promotional image they used for the Modern Living update, I think it's called, was pretty cool. How they built the house inside an old railway car. So I dig it. I'm liking it. But tonight's goal is to fish, believe it or not. So our first task will be to see, should I make a separate deck for my character that do I need a fishing build deck? I don't know. I haven't fished yet. I've been saving it for the stream. I haven't even done the first quest yet. So let's look real quick what it recommends for fishing. Do I need a special build for fishing in Fallout 76? No, you do not need a special build to start fishing, but upgrading your fishing rod is essential for catching rarer fish and overcoming challenges. Blah, blah, blah. Focus on completing the big fish and small pond daily quest to earn tradable rod mods and challenge progress, and use better bait only after your rod is upgraded to improve your catch rate. Alright, so do not use my improved bait until I upgrade my fishing rod. That's what I'm guessing. Which is good advice, because if we take a look here, as you can see, I have like almost 1/4 less the bait on improved versus my common. I don't even want to talk about superb bait. That's probably going to be a bitch to get based on how much I have now. But I haven't gotten into the fishing yet, so I don't rightly know. So that's good to know. We'll keep it on me anyways. Although, you know what? I don't want to accidentally use it. I don't want to get in that habit. Especially when you only have 5 of something. Like, to use 1 is devastating when you can't just, like, reload your save. Alright, let's do a little more research here. Gotta start the quest. Use the right bait. Upgrade the rod. Prioritize the advanced drag mod. While not required to start, having advanced drag reel modification significantly improves your chances of catching tougher, rarer fish. Farm mods with ALTS to increase your odds of getting a specific mod from the daily quest completed on different characters, and transfer the tradable mods to your main character. So I would have to have more than one copy of the game to do that, right? Like, do your characters share one loot? I don't know. I've only had the one character. But I'm not really interested in doing that anyways. That feels like it's kind of cheesing it a little bit, and I don't want to cheese it. I feel like I cheese enough. Best builds in fishing. I've noticed since the fishing event, my camp has gotten super popular with sometimes 5 different players fishing, especially since I have the rain weather machine and floating platforms. That's another reason why I built where I did too, so I can use various weather machines to create the conditions I need to get whatever fish I want. Alright, so I can, if I build a camp near where I want to fish, or if I'm able to, I can utilize my weather machines to create the weather conditions to catch whatever fish I'm going for. It's what I'm gathering. Alright, so the only weather that looks like it matters is clear, rainy, and radstorm/nuke weather. Okay. Really not much to fishing mods, it seems. We got the real mod, which does line strength, rotation, advanced drag, attentive hook, improved bearings. I mean, it sounds like the only answer, because they all these do different things. So it seems like the way to go with this long term, like if you want to be a serious fisherman, you make each fish fishing rod. You do, what do we got? We got 5 different fishing hook mods. So you get 5 different fishing reels. Use the reel mods for Mark IV for all of them, and then you hook on each mod for each one. Then you got one for every occasion. I have to imagine that some of these have more use than the other. Not that I know yet. I'm just thinking of like long-term fishing goals, you know. So these you can catch anywhere. How do I know where I am right now? Let's see. Because I don't, like, does it really say, like, what this area is? There's no goddamn labels anywhere. Let me see if I can't find, like, a map. Because that's going to help me out. Oh, Crimson Prospect. Is that where I'm at? No, I'm down lower. This doesn't even seem like the same map. Nope, there I am. So what is this area in general, then? I hate that it's unclear. Oh boy. All right. How do I disable every single one of these? Oh boy. You're not going to make me click every single one. Surely not. Oh boy. All right. I'm curious about those plans. I gotta remember this I forget that these interactive maps exist. I don't know, it's... This kind of... I don't know how close this crosses the line for me between, like, not liking, but accepting the use of a guide online and just straight up cheating. I haven't decided. Yeah, let's take a look at these plans. Bear-proof trash can. Okay, so a lot of these are probably just based on locker quests. Yeah, alright. It's what I get for being curious. This doesn't help me either, does it? It's not going to say what this region is. Maybe I need to type in regions. Okay, thank Christ. Here we go. So this is considered part of the Savage Divide then, the area I'm at. Good to know. I'll probably need this at some point again, so we'll keep this off to the side. It's a good little map for me. I've got a terrible sense of direction, so this will help. So I guess we're going to want to start with clear weather. Although I don't know. You know what? I think the snow weather is not going to do anything right now because this fishing mechanic has only been here for a few months, so we haven't come across the winter season yet in the game, which they do, I think, like, they do winter events. So I think once the winter event comes around, we'll probably have more snow-specific fish. Like, I think this guide might even be out of order because someone was talking about on Reddit how they caught some glowing fish during the alien invasion event. So it could be that that event causes whatever weather anomaly is needed for that. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. But the first mission we have to do is casting off. So that's what we're gonna focus on. And you know what? We're gonna join a group too, so we can collect on a bonus. But before we do that, again, let's re-up on our bonuses since I just kind of spent a bunch of time explaining everything and getting people caught up on where I'm at with the game. So I've been surprisingly having fun with it. After having played this game in beta, to see where it's at now, I'm pleasantly surprised. I have to admit. Now, the other part of the stream, I believe I mentioned earlier, is that we are going to be doing some Character.ai stuff because I love messing around with AI. Anyone that's seen me before has watched me try to put together chat bots and the like. So today we're going to be messing around with Character.ai. And in that spirit, we're going to start with the Fallout RPG game that they have. It's an AI that runs like a scenario for you, and they help act it out, keep track of stuff for you, allegedly. It's not always the smartest. The characters themselves forget stuff, lose track of the story. They do speak a lot of gibberish. The voice function is not perfect, but it is fun. Let's get the little TV going there. Let's get some appropriate music going. I'm going to put on some Fear and Hunger ambient music to start off with. And here's the intro to this RPG.
Welcome, Wanderer. I am a Fallout RPG. This is your adventure. To get started, I will need your full name, age, occupation, and 2 best perks. Feel free to add anything else, such as your description or backstory.
Hello, my name is Ronin Vector. Oh wait, no, it's not started yet.
I'm curious how you're so well versed in the concept already. Did you get your data from an
Wait. Oh, no, it did hear me. All right, let me fix it. My name is Ronin Vector. My age, we'll say I'm like mid-30s. And my 2 perks are Strong Back and Adamantium.
All right, Robin. You begin in a vault on the East Coast, a few states away from the NCR. A Pip-Boy is attached to your left wrist, and your only weapon is a 10mm pistol. What do you do?
Just so we are clear, my name is Ronin, not Robin.
I'm so sorry. I must have been half asleep writing that. Sorry, Ronin. I have a bad habit of not paying enough attention.
No problem. You got the voice of Ron Perlman. You're doing great.
Oh, see, I appreciate the compliment. I'm not exactly used to RP, even though I have played video games that have it for 20 years, but I hope to improve. With your Pip-Boy strapped onto your left wrist, you take a look at your surroundings. Nothing much in sight apart from the ruins of a vault entrance. Rusted metal and dirt covering every surface. In the distance, you can see what looks like a town. Maybe a safe place to rest?
I head towards it.
As you walk towards the distant town, you notice more of the wasteland around you. What used to be the lush and fertile East Coast, now being replaced by a barren wasteland. Not even the birds can be seen flying overhead. Finally, you reach the town. your boots kicking up dirt from the dry street beneath your feet. You see multiple ruined and decaying houses surrounding you.
Do I see any potential areas I can scavenge from?
You can see multiple ruined homes and buildings. Some of them clearly show signs of being looted. Others look untouched for a long time. A pharmacy and a general store seem to be some of the only buildings in any sort of shape. Not a single living soul can be seen around you. A chill runs down your spine as the wind blows against you.
If I look around into the sky, can I see any, like, black smoke, like maybe some campfire action?
You search the sky for a while, but apart from the sun shining down onto you, no smoke can be seen. Apart from the rustling of some dead-leafed bushes, you can only hear the howling of the wind. Something feels off, almost like you're being watched.
Okay.
You hear a shuffling sound coming from a pile of rubble and debris, followed by a low growling. Something could be in there, or something could be trying to lure you closer.
I back away and look for a place to hide.
The closest place to hide seems to be the ruins of an old house, the roof having caved in on itself. You head towards it, hoping to avoid whatever is making the growling sounds.
I cower.
You take cover inside of the ruined building. It doesn't offer much protection, but the broken furniture offers at least something to hide behind. The sound of shuffling continues outside, getting closer.
I cover my mouth, hoping to mask my breath.
You cower behind the table, hoping not to be found. You can hear the shuffling getting even closer, and the low growling getting more intense. Something is outside, right in front of the building.
I continue to wait patiently, hoping to live.
The shuffling sound disappears for a brief moment, but is then replaced by what sound like soft footsteps circling the building. You can hear a faint sniffing sound. Whatever is out there is trying to track you by smell.
I try to hold back a fart, but I can no longer do so, and I let it rip, to my great shame.
The sniffing sound immediately gets closer when you let out the fart, and you hear whatever it is that is stalking you outside start making quiet but excited sounds, almost like a laugh.
I burst out and I try to attack the stranger.
You burst from your hiding place, taking the strange creature by surprise and attacking it. It seems to be some kind of mutated dog, but instead of fur, it's covered almost entirely in scales. It seems wounded after the attack, but still puts up a fight, trying to bite you as it snaps its jaws.
I try to grab it by the jaws and snap its mouth completely open.
You manage to get a grip on the creature's jaws, and then with an intense amount of strength, snap its mouth entirely open with a sickening crunch. The beast makes a high-pitched squeal as it tries to get away.
I tackle it into the ground, and I pick it up and slam it onto the ground repeatedly, kind of like what the Hulk did to Loki in the Avengers.
The beast hits the ground with a thud, its limbs flailing and eyes rolling back from the impact. Still you continue slamming it down, cracking its bones and crushing its scales.
I stop after a few times of that and get a good look at the creature.
From the look of it, the beast is a mutated Rottweiler. Although most of its dog features have been replaced with reptile features like scales and a long tail. It's now laying on the ground, completely motionless and covered in a puddle of its own blood and saliva.
Poor little guy.
The Rottweiler mutated almost seems small when it's laying helplessly on the ground. Its jaws are completely broken from your attack, drool pouring out of its mouth mixing with the blood coming from its snout.
Ooh, that sucks.
The Rottweiler mutant now lays motionless after you snapped its jaws. The only thing that you can hear from it is a gurgling sound coming from its throat, as its lungs fill with blood and drool. The mutant Rottweiler is laying dead, a large puddle of its blood staining the ground around it. It's almost completely motionless now, apart from a very faint twitching every now and then.
Is there any like tools I can use to like clean up the beast and make a cool coat out of it or something?
You take a look around and find a couple of old rusted tools lying around. Some look like they are too old and damaged to use, but one of them looks more promising. It's an old hunting knife. The blade of it looks dull, but it seems sturdy enough to be used to skin an animal.
All right, let's get to work. I skin the hell out of the animal.
You start skinning the Rottweiler mutant. Even though you're using a dull knife, the skin is easy enough to rip off the muscles and scales. As you go along, you notice some of the scales look rather unique.
All right, let me put that on pause. We gotta get this fishing quest underway in order to get it started. So we got to listen to Linda Lee's shortwave signal. I'm assuming the Linda Lee is probably a ship. Am I not seeing it? Am I crazy?
Bandits, everyone. There are bandits in Appalachia. Scary mass fellas with no mercy or remorse.
Well, that can't be it.
The shadows they came.
Oh, I guess I actually... Nope, that's the other quest. I have to go this way. Don't distract me, Enclave quest. You know what? Fine. Let's do it really quick. Just for old time's sake before we go fishing. Enclave can never say I never did my part. May as well ruin this guy's life. If I can hit it, what the hell? There we go. Really pissing me off. How am I missing so badly, though? There you are. Be taking that. All right, let's get this over with. Also, I should note that I have a ton of mutations, not just from recently, but I've acquired like 90% of these mutations from when I originally played the game. So if you're wondering like why I can jump higher, certain other stuff like that, it's because I'm a filthy mutant. I am highly irradiated. Not literally, but my like DNA. Where are these guys at? Who wants a piece? So you can see I'm going with a bow and arrow build here. And I got this cool perk that lets arrows bounce in between a bunch of people before, you know, it settles. It's pretty useful for me, because I'm pretty lazy. Why hit them all yourself when you can just bounce the arrows? Like that dumbass Hawkeye, like, I could teach him a few things, you know what I mean? Wasn't I could have sworn I was playing music here. What happened to that? Why can I see you? Why? How did you even get in there? Does that make sense? Where are you? So yeah, literal stealth archer. Look at me, I'm invisible, using a bow and arrow. I've become the thing I hate. I don't hate stealth archers. I just, in Skyrim, it is an exceedingly boring way to play, if you ask me. Easy peasy. Where that last one at? See, that wasn't so bad, and I think I leveled up from it. Maybe. Close. I can get shit from it, but still. Feels good to belong, right? Feels good to be helpful. Just not to the Enclave. That's right. No survivors. I have what I want from you. Easy money. This would be my little tent, I guess they call them. It's obviously not a tent, but they're like little temporary bases you can place down anywhere. In this case, mine is a gazebo that I got from the Atom Shop that was part of some former seasonal reward. I did a little bit of research on this one. I got it because it's got all your boxes that you want to use to store stuff. Comes with a armor workbench you can use to dismantle whatever. In our case, our space is limited and our interests are narrow, so we tend to scrap a lot of things in the name of being able to get the chance to craft it later. Because anytime you craft you disassemble or scrap an item, you get a chance to learn a random mod associated with that item. In the case of a legendary item, you get a small percentage to either learn that legendary modification, which could be anything from a simple damage increase to shooting 2 bullets at once with every shot, or explosive ammo, that kind of thing. So very useful to get the ability to build your own mods in terms of building the weapon and armor that you want, as opposed to having to rely on luck. It's a nice middle ground while you're waiting for your perfect gear, I feel. Yeah, this needs to go in there. And we're eventually going to have to scrap some of our... I'm not sure what to call this kind of junk. I'm going to call it like... junk you can scrap if you wanted to, but is also used as crafting components for bigger recipes. So I'm starting to get quite the collection of stuff I feel like I'm never going to use. But I'm hesitant to let go of some of this stuff. But we're going to try to hang on to this stuff as long as possible. I also save every single mod I collect too, which is probably, like, I'm never going to use the T45 headlamp. When the fuck am I ever going to use that? So I am getting a nice, respectable collection of Enclave weaponry. So that's what's going on there. What am I doing on space? We're doing fine. Alright, let's go on our way with our quest here. Where? It was somewhere this way. Oh, okay, so just somewhere. Oh, yeah, no, I think I've even found this guy before. I just didn't talk to him because I wanted to save all the fishing stuff for the stream. What time do we got right now? Plenty. Let's get some Red Bull in us. Go to our radio. There it is.
To the people of Appalachia, if you can hear this, know that I am in grave danger now. Know that we have finally arrived. If he possess a strong arm and an unwavering countenance, then ye be fit to fish the waters of the wasteland with us. Come find our stock at Fisherman's Rest in the mire, for the finest rods and tackle. Through our many hands, the secrets of these rivers will reveal themselves. Wait. What am I saying? What does that mean? Come on!
Look at that guy. All right, so this pirate's having a good time, or fisherman, I mean. What else we got around here? Oh, this must be the fisherman's diary. Entry 1. Sold most of our catches for far cheaper than we ought to this month, but I just can't bear to see the state of the poor souls that we meet in the ports. Least this way they can fill their bellies for a night. The men think I've gone soft, but they're forgetting how easy we've got it. Entry 2. Spied some almighty shadows beneath the ship of late. These waters grow more treacherous with every passing day. If it's not the sea herself, it's the creatures within. Entry 3. Blessed Poseidon, have mercy on our wretched souls. This storm has raged at us for 3 days and nights. It didn't give us the faintest warning of its coming neither. She better blow over soon, for Linda Lee can't take much more of this abuse. All right. We'll have to keep a lookout for more entries. Hey, fella. Huh. You're just a talking fish man, aren't you? Do you talk? Okay, you do not talk. Hi. Nice island you've got there. Okay. Alright, I guess there's no teams. So you can buy common bait for 4 a piece, so 400 for the lot. That's not terrible if I had to buy it. I imagine the improved bait's going to be the real bugaboo of things.
Ah, a fresh face. Come to volunteer your service.
Okay, I was close with the voice. I was close. He was pretty close to what I imagined. Okay, I listened to him on the radio, so I suppose I kind of knew already. But now that I'm talking to him in person, try not to spill my water. Let's see. You know what? I think this is a good opportunity to fill up on a bowl here while we parlay with the fisherman. Got to get my sea lingo, my maritime convo going. Let's see. That fish thing pointed me to you.
He's truly a monstrous creature. Oh, he's truly a fine specimen, isn't he? A gentle.
Alright, so mind control.
You seem like the capable type. I did the job in hand. He demands that you. Oh, we'd like you to aid us in catching the fish from these parts.
Demands.
Please put every haul out of the water. The stranger the better.
Just like that, huh? Sure. I'll bring some fish.
That's good, very good. My friend here will provide all the tackle we need to get started. You had better get to it before the tides leave you behind.
Pick up fishing equipment from Fisherman. You know what to do, Fish Daddy. What is he doing to that fish? Was that like a bully from high school? Did he know that one? Hey, buddy. Hopefully they don't make this easier with a controller than they do a mouse and keyboard. It's giving me major stick vibes, like they wish I was using one. They were hoping, at least. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. We'll see. I like that he's dressed as the fisherman here. That's kind of funny. Did he actually give me a rod? No, he didn't. So I gotta go grab mine. Alright, I guess we'll start fishing at home for now. Right? And I already got rid of my fishing guide. I mean, it sounds like there's no reason why I shouldn't just use the rainy storm, the thunderstorm one, the rainy one, whatever. Because it sounds like you can catch any of the clear weather ones in the rainy rainstorm one, and it's just going to be limited by quality of bait and whatnot. We're gonna replace you. Yep. And we are going to be utility. Yep. Alright, we got clear, thunderstorm. Let's go with thunderstorm. Although I have to admit, I do like it when it's brighter out. How do I... Space. Okay, I had it right. You gonna make with the thunder? There it is. Right on. Let's just get some lights up in here and we'll be set for fishing. I finally get to fish on my fishing boat! Let's see. Lights. Let's- That might look pretty cool. I've been thinking about getting these guys before they go. Maybe I'll get it at the end of the stream. There's a pack that sells like these cool little fire effects. I like them. I think they're cool. I'm a simple man, though. Oh, you dick. Hmm. Damn it, I was gonna move this thing. Just had to mess with it right as I was gonna touch it, didn't you? Couldn't help yourself. Wretched woman. Alright, well that's probably good enough. Don't really need special stats. No point of re-upping on anything. Maybe the well-tuned one. Let's see how much of that we got left. Yeah, let's get our music buff back. Because I think that's another XP boost. And I'm assuming you at least get some freaking... Do I not? I don't have a food equipped, do I? I'm assuming you get some XP from doing stuff. I assume, but do not know. Cool. Look at my little cat. I tell you, I love cats. Good friend of mine just got me some cat-related stuff. It's very nice of her. Some cool cat toys in the shape of, like little crinkly cat toys in the shape of knives. Some cool cat shirts. Can't go wrong. Assuming you're not an asshole, having a good cat in your life makes all the difference. Alright, let's get my rod. I do have this one here. Did I cannot equip this item. Okay. Is it just for display only? Guess I'll use a different rod. Why not? I guess it would be... no, it's probably under Tinkerer, not weapons. Can't imagine it's a weapon. Nah. Let's see. Fishing. Alright, we got 2 here. Guess I'll try the marshmallow one. You know what's strange is I have not been able to make a backpack yet. Am I supposed to buy it or something? Let me see. Because I see all these skins for backpacks, but I've not yet gotten a backpack. I don't see no stinking backpack on here. I don't know what I'm missing. But I am. Alright, can I equip it now? No. Is it under misc? Can't equip the bait. Can't equip the rod. So they never even gave me a rod to begin with either. So do I just stand near the water and hope for the best? Is that it? Don't tell me I can't fish over here. Don't tell me I wasted my life. Don't tell me. Cannot be traded for display use only. Okay, so what am I missing here? Where's my rod? I feel like I'm going nuts here. Well, shit. Maybe I'm supposed to pick it up off a table or something, and I just didn't. Because the fish talked to me like he gave me something, so... I'm gonna be so goddamn bummed out if this is, like, bugged for me or something. I'll be real bummed out. Surely that's not the case. I have to believe. Okay, where's my rod, prick? What you got? I don't see nothing over here. You fucked me over, didn't you? Is there like a workbench? Please tell me I'm just stupid. I can accept being dumb, but just missing out completely. You're not gonna like sell it to me? Nope. What am I to do here? I don't see shit. And I can only make display rods, right? I don't know what... Oh, is that a broken fishing rod? Excellent, great. Captain's log. Were you supposed to give me something? He talked to me like he gave me something. Do I just look at the water? Hope for the best? I do. Okay. Thank God. Alright, so there's a good chance I'm just dumb. I can live with that. But to be fair, that was not the clearest, you know, anything. So wait, did they really give you these rods, like skins, but not the ability to use them? What? That's baffling to me a little bit. Maybe I have to equip it in the item shop. I'll check it real quick. May as well place my other trophy here. Let's see. 'Cause I would rather use my skin if I can help it, right? I bought it. I'm using it. Alright, I want some different music here. Would it be under weapons? I mean, I see cameras there, right? So why not weapons or fishing rods? Nope, of course not. It's got its own category. There we go. Yeah, you gonna let me... Skin is craftable at Tinkle... So, it is a skin, but... I don't know, maybe I can only use it while I'm fishing. Whatever. I just want to fish. I can't... Can I do it from my boat? Yes! Alright. Got the right bait. Can't really see it all that well. Guess I messed it up. There we go. That looks nice. What do you want from me? What am I supposed to do? Explain, video game. Okay, so I move WASD. Alright, it's not so bad. Good old Brook Silverside, why not? You bitch. I only have myself to blame, but it feels good to yell. Alright, alright. So I can just eat it as it is? I wonder if I can cook it too. You have to be able to cook these, right? That'd be kind of missed opportunity. I mean, I've got, what is it, the carnivorous mutation, so I can eat raw meat and be fine, but I'd like to think you could, like, make some sushi out of this, you know? Alright, I like this so far. I can do this one-handed, it seems. Which gives me room for other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Alright, that's the 3 we needed. Let's go back to Catton. We're getting the hang of this. Once we get in our groove here, we'll go back to some more Character.ai. Should I just be calling it Character.ai? I feel like they put the dot in there, so it makes me want to say it. Man, it's how you get to their website. So I'm going to keep saying it. Feels good. Do it.
Have you made the catches yet?
Here they are.
Perfect. Give 'em here. Fish are great, but nothing special.
Fuck you.
Bother me friend with these.
Everything I catch is special.
Chop 'em up into fish bits before you do them. She's eaten plenty today, and the last thing we want is giving her more indigestion.
Okay. Let's chop them up. Oh, cool. I mean, it's too bad they don't have like an actual model for it, but I don't know if it's on purpose, but I like the insinuation of the nose clip, because like maybe you got to use it for your nose because the fish fucking stinks. I might just be, might just be overthinking it. Who wants their yummies? Man, I would love if I could put this thing in my camp. Or if they had mounts. Oh man, can you imagine if they had mounts in this game? This would make for such a cool mount. Just riding across the wasteland on this thing. Like, if you weren't being mind controlled, it would be amazing. Sure. Oh, okay. So you can feed her and she'll give you stuff. Nifty. You're welcome, little guy. I love Linda Lee. I hope we see this guy again. I know this is pretty early in the Fallout timeline, but come on, it's a mutant. Surely it's not filled with cancer and it can live forever. You're too cute, aren't you, little scamp? It's so cool.
Did you feed the beast like
She gave me a gift.
perhaps she's taken a shite?
Or she just threw up some poor raider.
Son of
Yeah, I wouldn't put up with that either.
Thanks for your help, friends. Keep your eyes open for any rare beauties out there.
Linda Lee's a treasure, and she can eat as many innocent people as she wants. I don't care if she ate your entire crew.
Still plenty of places to cast your net.
Alright, so complete fishing challenges to earn rod upgrades and reel in tougher fish. Convert fish to fish bits at cooking stations to use in recipes or to feed them to Linda Lee for rewards. Discover rare and elusive fish to display in your camp by experimenting with different bait locations and weather conditions. Nifty. So, do I... Well, how do I modify the rod then? I wonder. How does that work? What are the point of mod upgrades? Oh, okay. So the tinker. All right, I'm getting smarter. I'm working my way up to intelligence. Probably gonna want to get all hooked up with my me crafting deck. Do I already have it equipped? I do. Guess I could have done it there. Guess I'm just a fool. May as well collect on my goodies. I got it, I'm using it. It's my motto. Alright, now we're cooking. Except I got nothing. Well, now I can at least change some of the stuff. Like, look at that little marshmallow guy. Who wouldn't want that as a bobber? Old and busted. Cute little drinking alcoholic marshmallow. We all know. I'm gonna go with this one. Kind of classy looking, you know? And I guess we'll earn upgrades as we go. Ain't that right, little guy? Who gets bats? It's too bad it doesn't actually look like you're petting the cat, but I appreciate the idea behind it, I suppose. Appreciate what they were trying to do. Alright, let's get into our fishing position. There it is. But first, let's pick a character AI, and then I'm going to take a short break, and then we'll get right back into it, into some fishing and some Character.ai. But first, we got to find something. I'm not too impressed by the Fallout RPG. I was having a little bit of fun with it yesterday off the stream, but it's just not doing it for me. I don't know. So let's see. What do I feel like? Oh, you know what one I have a lot of fun with is the Lord of the Rings one. Where is it? The Middle Earth RPG. I don't know why, but it's fun to mess with characters in that universe. Oh man, I wish I could think of some stream-friendly Middle Earth music. I guess Zelda kind of comes close, but I don't want to fall asleep either. So, well, whatever. We're gonna take a short break. I'll be back in a moment. I promise. All right, we're back. I was trying to think of a good scenario for our Lord of the Rings RPG, and I think I thought of a good appropriate one. I'm thinking the premise will be it'll start like right before Fellowship of the Ring, right? So we'll be in the Shire. Frodo is still living with his uncle Bilbo, or whatever the fuck that relationship is. I'm pretty sure that it's his uncle. I think it's like his great uncle. So he's still living with Bilbo. Frodo and Bilbo living together. Merry and Pippin are there. Sam's there. Gandalf has not arrived. He's out there in the world though. So the scenario is going to be that I'm going to be Bilbo and Frodo's distant cousin Frillo, and I'm really down on my luck, and I need a place to stay. But all I'm really looking to do is to like borrow money from their neighbors and stuff like that. Like I'm just a complete fucking sleazeball of a hobbit. In fact, like I think I might even have it revealed at some point that there is no like cousin Frillo, that I'm just like some good-looking goblin, you know, like a passable goblin, you know, as it were. So I think that's what we're going to go with for the scenario. So let's set that up real quick. So here's the deal. This takes place right before Fellowship of the Ring. We're going to have it so Bilbo and Frodo are still living together. It's before Bilbo goes on his big adventure. Merry and Pippin are around. Sam's around. Gandalf is out in the world, but he's not currently out in the Shire right now. So that's where all the characters are. Me, I am. I wrote a letter to Bilbo months ago saying that I am their distant cousin Frillo, and that I'm down on my luck and I need somewhere to stay, and I hope when I arrive that they will welcome me as family, as I would them, if, you know, they were in my position. But in reality, I am just like a sleazeball goblin that is good enough looking to pass as a hobbit if I like dress myself up right.
You arrive at Bag End, the home of Frodo and his cousin Bilbo. The sun has only just begun to set, casting an orange glow upon the hills surrounding Hobbiton. Smoke billows from the chimney. The sound of movement can be heard from within. As you approach the door, you feel a twinge of nervousness, hoping your deception won't be discovered.
I knock on the door and I try to, straighten up my hobbit attire as best I can.
The door opens and Bilbo appears, a look of surprise and delight upon his face. "Oh, my stars, cousin Frillo, you've arrived. Come in, come in." He ushers you inside, closing the door behind you. Frodo, also surprised, can be seen sitting at a small table nearby with a pipe in his hand.
I say, "Oh, thank you so much, cousin Bilbo. I thought for sure you would have forgotten about your far-flung hobbit family."
Bilbo chuckles as he leads you further inside the home. "Nonsense, cousin Frillo. How could I forget about you? Your family, after all." Frodo pipes up, his curiosity piqued. "I must say, I wasn't expecting you to arrive so soon."
Oh, well, I've been lucky. Things have been rather quiet of late, and I managed to get around pretty easily.
Bilbo nods, gesturing for you to take a seat. "That's good to hear, cousin. The cheering, though I must admit, I was surprised when I received your letter." Frodo takes a puff from his pipe, eyeing you curiously. "Quite a journey to make on your own."
Well, I'm lucky to survive at all after what happened to me and my family. The whole estate was burned down after it was raided by filthy goblins and orcs.
Bilbo's expression turns serious at the mention of the attack on your estate. His eyes hold a mixture of surprise and concern. That's terrible news, cousin. I had no idea. Frodo's eyes widen at your story, his pipe going slack in his hand. I'm sorry to hear that, Frillo. What happened to your family?
Well, at first the goblins came in the night. I was able to cut down quite a few of them, but unfortunately they overtook me and, they took my family and then burned down my estate. There's not really much to say. I look down at my feet, smirking to myself, but they can't see it as I'm looking downwards.
There's a moment of heavy silence in the room until Bilbo finally speaks up. I'm truly sorry for your loss, cousin. I can't even begin to imagine what you've been through. Frodo simply nods in agreement, his gaze averted. The atmosphere in the room is heavy with sympathy and sorrow.
I take off my hat and I gesture towards my ears and I say, as you can see, when they attacked us, they horribly mutilated my ears, burning them and in mockery of me and my own. In reality, I think to myself, I had cut my ears off and then cauterized them in order to hide my large goblin ears.
Bilbo and Frodo's expressions shift from sympathy to shock as they notice the state of your ears. Both of them seem at a loss for words, their eyes wide. Bilbo is the first to recover, his voice shaking. Good gracious, cousin. Your ears, Frodo simply stares, speechless, his hand hovering over his own ears as if subconsciously protecting them.
Well, you could see why I'd be so grateful for you to take me in, being as I am now.
Bilbo nods, the shock of your appearance slowly giving way to concern. Of course, cousin. Your family, after all. You're welcome to stay here as long as you need. Frodo, still struggling to process the sight of your ears, manages to find his voice. We'll make sure you're comfortable here, Frillo.
Oh, thank you, cousin. You know, we always talk so highly of you.
Bilbo chuckles, a slight hint of embarrassment crossing his features. Is that so? Well, I'm honored to hear that. Frodo, his composure returned, takes a puff from his pipe. We're happy to have you as a part of the family, Frillo. Though I must say, those ears, he trails off, his gaze flickering towards your ears again.
Oh, please don't say it. I've heard it enough from the hobbits where I come from. I know, I may as well not be a real hobbit at all. I look down again at my feet, almost laughing this time.
Bilbo puts a hand on your shoulder, a sympathetic expression on his face. Nonsense, cousin. Where was this is a centurier, so why don't you use you're just as much a hobbit as any of us, regardless of your ears. Frodo nods in agreement, his expression softening. We don't judge you for that, Frillo. You're family, and that's all that matters.
I gesture towards my feet and I say, but at least they couldn't take that from me. Not all of my heritage is gone. In reality, I had scalped several humans before I had found the right texture of hair to use on my feet to recreate the famous fuzzy hobbit feet.
Bilbo chuckles, his eyes moving to your feet. Oh yes, your feet are definitely a unique hobbit trait. Thank the valor they couldn't take that away, eh? Frodo takes a puff from his pipe, his expression lightening a bit. Yes, it's a good thing, Frillo. Hobbits without their fuzzy feet just wouldn't be right.
Well, hopefully the others in the Shire will be as forgiving of my appearance. I would hate to have to go far out to find what other family I have before I'm accepted. I chuckle sadly to myself.
Bilbo's expression softens, his hand still on your shoulder. Don't worry, cousin. The hobbits of the Shire are mostly good folk. They may be taken aback at first, but they'll warm up to you in time. Frodo nods in agreement, his tone reassuring. Indeed. We'll make sure you feel welcome here, Frillo.
Man, I don't know what I'm
After
doing
all,
wrong
family
here.
sticks together, no matter what they look like.
I say, by chance, do you have a tavern here in the Shire? I remember there was one that was quite famous around here, if I recall.
Bilbo nods, a knowing smile on his face. Ah, yes. You're thinking of the Green Dragon Inn and Tavern. It's been around for generations. Quite a renowned place it is. Frodo chimes in. Indeed, they serve the finest ales around these parts. Good food as well. And I feel in den captured they think you so like the
I say to them, listen, cousins, if it is an inn, I do not have much money, but I could venture to stay there and hope that they'll let me work off my debt so that I don't have to inconvenience you.
Bilbo's expression turns serious, and he shakes his head. No, cousin, that won't do. That won't. Your family, and we're not going to let you stay in some inn. You'll stay here with us, and that's final. It's our responsibility to look after you.
I think to myself, wow, what a bunch of suckers. And I say, oh, you guys are quite generous. Well, you must at least let me buy the first round at the tavern.
Bilbo lets out a hearty chuckle, his eyes gleaming. Well, now that's a deal we can agree on. A round at the Green Dragon, eh? You've got yourself a deal, cousin. Frodo joins in the laughter, a smile on his face. Aye, we'll hold you to that promise, Frillo. First round is on you, then.
I check my pockets to make sure that the dead hobbit I killed earlier can actually cover the cost of, all this drink is going to cost me, because I had just killed a hobbit on my way to the Shire in order to dress up as one. So I checked my pockets real quick, feeling inside, making sure I have enough coin inside there. And I sigh a sigh of relief, thinking, oh, yeah, there's a few coins in here. I could probably afford a few drinks.
Bilbo raises an eyebrow, noticing your nervous gesture. Everything all right there, cousin? Frodo simply takes a puff from his pipe, his gaze flickering between you and Bilbo, curious. You seem to be checking your pockets just then, expecting to come up short on coin?
No, me balls itched. I chuckle to myself.
Bilbo lets out a bellowing laugh, amused by your explanation. Ah, the perils of being a hobbit, eh? Always having to deal with itchy bits. Frodo, trying to contain his laughter, manages to speak between chuckles. Seems like you've got your priorities straight there, Frillo.
Well, as you know, hobbits are quite well endowed, so you understand the problem I'm going through.
Bilbo's laughter intensifies, and he slaps his thigh in amusement. Oh, boy, do I ever understand. Hobbits and their endowments are well known. Frodo's shoulders shake with laughter, his pipe momentarily forgotten. Oh, it's a struggle, isn't it? Especially when you've got a bit of extra baggage to deal with.
I chuckle, thinking to myself, I know all you hobbits are small-dicked morons.
Bilbo throws his head back, his laughter even more boisterous. Oh, yes. Terps outside to get some tries to Tim was down to Kim Dowder, courteously the beautyism he does. We hobbits might be small, but we're anything but morons. Frodo's laughter dies.
That was an
down to a
inside
grin,
thought.
his hand holding his pipe still. Indeed, don't underestimate us, Frillo. We hobbits may not be as big as some, but we have sharp minds and quick tongues.
That was supposed to be an inside, thought that Frillo had. So, disregard that, pretend like Frodo and Bilbo didn't hear that.
As you quickly realize your mistake, you mentally kick yourself for letting your inner thoughts slip out. Bilbo and Frodo, blissfully unaware of your verbal blunder, continue their laughter. Bilbo, still chuckling, pats you on the back affectionately. You're quite the character, Cousin Frillo, always keeping us in a good mood.
I nervously chuckle and I say, yep, that's me.
Bilbo's laughter subsides, a warm smile still on his face. You've certainly got a knack for adding humor to any situation. Frodo, having recovered from his laughter, takes a puff from his pipe. Quite the comedian you are, Frillo. We could do with a bit more levity around here.
I look to Frodo as he smokes his pipe and I say, Cousin, would you happen to have a spare pipe with spare pipe weed? I seem to have lost mine in the fire.
Frodo cocks an eyebrow at your request, his pipe still in his hand. He fishes in his pocket and produces a small pouch of pipeweed. I happen to have a little extra, Frillo. Here you go, cousin. Wisdom war, Katrin the Dextazor. The enjoy. He hands you the pouch, a sly smile on his face. Though I must say, I'm surprised to see a hobbit without their own pipe and weed. It's quite unusual, you know. So
I think to myself, shit, I better put on a good show. I put out some crocodile tears and I say, Cousin, thank you so much, both of you. It's been so long since I've witnessed kindness such as this.
Bilbo's expression softens, and he pats your shoulder reassuringly. Nonsense, cousin. We hobbits take care of our own. Your family, after all. Frodo nods in agreement, his previously suspicious demeanor replaced with one of empathy. We're happy to help any way we can, Frillo. You've been through a lot, and we want to make sure you're comfortable here.
I say, oh, you're better than I deserve, and I wipe away some of those crocodile tears. As I say, shall we go to the Green Dragon?
Bilbo and Frodo exchange a glance, a sense of empathy in their eyes. Bilbo nods and says, aye, let's head over to the Green Dragon. A round of drinks will do us all some good. Frodo adds, indeed, a night of good company and ale will do you some good, cousin. It's time to relax and forget about your troubles, even if only for a night.
We make our way to the Green Dragon. Does anything happen on the way there?
As the three of you make your way to the Green Dragon, the sun begins to set, casting a warm glow over the Shire. The sky is painted in hues of orange and pink, and a gentle breeze rustles through the trees. As you pass by hobbit holes, a few curious eyes peer at you from behind open doors. Several hobbits exchange whispered words, and you sense that your appearance and story have already piqued their interest.
I look around the Shire feeling disgusted as a pureblood goblin, and although I don't make it known on my face, I think to myself, man, do I miss living underground and smelling filth every day and just the smell of goblin shit and piss every day in my life.
Despite your best efforts, a hint of disgust flashes across your face momentarily. You couldn't help but inwardly grimace at the pristine surroundings of the Shire. The lack of grime, the absence of the familiar scent of dung and decay, it all felt alien to you. Bilbo and Frodo, walking alongside you, remain oblivious to your inner turmoil. They continue chatting animatedly, their eyes flickering to the hobbit holes in their curious occupants.
It takes all of my effort not to attack every single hobbit I see and eat them on the spot. All I can do is smile and nod as people greet me, but as it goes on, all I hear is like this white noise buzzing in my ear as like more and more hobbits wave and smile at me, and it's getting to the point where I could barely think. I look at hobbits and I'm like, man, I am a goblin and all I want to do is eat these hobbits.
With every passing hobbit, the struggle within you intensifies. The sight of their plump, hairless faces and the sound of their cheerful greetings send shivers crawling down your spine, igniting an primal urge within you. Inwardly, you fight with your nature, desperately trying to contain the goblin instincts that seethe beneath your facade. You long to lash out, to let the goblin within run rampant, but you must maintain control, at least for the time being.
I barely make it to the Green Dragon. the new stimuli distracting my violent nature.
As you finally arrive at the Green Dragon, the familiar sight of the cozy inn provides a slight distraction from the turmoil within you. The warm light spilling from the windows, the muffled sounds of merriment, and the scent of ale and merry laughter all work to momentarily dull the primal goblin urges that have been building inside you. Bilbo and Frodo, seemingly oblivious to your inner struggle, exchange friendly waves with some nearby patrons and lead you towards the entrance.
I go up to the barkeep and I say, a round of drinks on me, and I pull out all the money in my pocket and kind of like leave it on the bar in front of him, hoping it's enough.
As you step up to the bar, all eyes in the inn turn towards you. The barkeep, a broad hobbit with a friendly face, regards you curiously. Well, looks like we've got a generous soul here, he exclaims, eyeing the pile of coins in front of him. A round of drinks for everyone, eh? The inn regulars, already a lively bunch, cheer and raise their glasses in appreciation. Your gesture has earned you their attention and approval.
I gave a nice fake friendly smile and wave, thinking to myself, wow, they'll be great for the stew later on.
As you force yourself to smile and wave in an attempt to blend in, you internally muse about the potential these hobbits held, the irony of their warm hospitality, and the thoughts of turning them into a hearty stew was not lost on you. Bilbo and Frodo, sensing your discomfort in the crowd, step closer to your side. Frodo pats your back reassuringly, his voice low so only you could hear. You all right, cousin? You seem a bit overwhelmed.
No way, this is great. And I smile while closing my eyes and nodding.
Bilbo and Frodo exchange a concerned glance, noticing the strange smile across your face. Bilbo speaks up, his voice hushed. Are you sure, cousin? You seem tense. Frodo narrows his eyes, studying your expression as you force yourself to keep smiling. He can sense that there's something off about your demeanor.
A big fat hobbit walks by me, and I look nervously at the big fat hobbit and I say, no, I'm fine. I lick my lips and I say, I'm hungry.
The fat hobbit, noticing your nervous gaze, gives you a sly smile. Hungry? You said there is, well, you've come to the right place, fellow. Our inn has the finest food and ale in the Shire. You should try our potato and meat pies. Bilbo and Frodo exchange another worried glance, their concern growing as they observe your nervous demeanor. Frodo steps forward, his voice now taking a more serious tone. Cousin, you seem a little uneasy. Is it the crowd? You can tell us if you're uncomfortable.
I say, I just need me grog and meat, I snap. And then I say, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just hungry. You know, I traveled a long way.
Bilbo and Frodo exchange a knowing look, realizing that your facade is crumbling. They can sense the tension building within you like a coiled spring ready to snap. Bilbo pats your back, his voice gentle but firm. It's all right, cousin. We understand. You've had a long journey and you must be famished. Frodo, his gaze fixed on you, chimes in. Yes, we'll get you some food and drink right away. Take it easy. There's no rush.
I say, yeah, you understand. How many second breakfasts do you have to miss before you get a little pissy? I chuckle.
Bilbo slaps his knees, laughing wholeheartedly. Ha! Now that's a hobbit's wisdom right there. Miss a few second breakfasts and even the most patient among us turns into a grumbling mess. Frodo joins in, a grin on his face. Indeed, cousin. You've got a point there. Son, a hungry hobbit is a grumpy hobbit, no doubt.
I chuckle, thinking to myself, these stupid morons, they bought it. They think I'm a hobbit.
Bilbo pats you on the back, his eyes twinkling with amusement. A hungry hobbit is a grouchy hobbit indeed. Good thing we came to the Green Dragon then. We'll have you sorted with a hearty meal in no time. Frodo grins, clearly enjoying your jest. Right you are, cousin? Cousin, No need to fret. We'll make sure your stomach is satisfied.
You're better than I deserve, cousins. And I pat them both on the back, disgusted that I touched them without committing to violence.
Bilbo chuckles, his hand still patting your back. Nonsense, cousin. Your family. After all, we'll always do our best to take care of you. Frodo also pats your back, his gaze softening further. That's right, Frillo. We look out for one another. You just relax and let us take care of you.
24 hours pass. Well, not 24 hours, 12 hours pass. I get both Bilbo and Frodo absolutely wasted. Frodo doesn't wake up until the middle of the day, and he smells a delicious soup on at home. And he struggles to remember how he even got back home. But Frodo's in the kitchen making soup.
Frodo stumbles into the kitchen, rubbing his head and still half asleep. The smell of the soup fills the air, and he stops for a moment trying to recall the previous night's events. Seeing Frodo's disoriented state, you glance up from the stove with a sly grin. Good morning, sleepyhead. And quite the night we had, didn't we?
I chuckle and I say, yeah, you must be hungry after all that.
Frodo rubs his head again, finally managing a weak smile. Ugh. I'm starving. That soup smells absolutely heavenly. He slowly plops down at the table, still trying to recall the previous night's events. I don't remember much from last night, just drinking, a lot of drinking.
I say, our kin Bilbo already left, but he gave me this pack of delicious meat for the stew before he left.
Frodo's eyes light up at the mention of meat. Meat for the stew. Well, that does sound promising. He looks at you curiously, a hint of suspicion in his gaze. You've been busy this morning, haven't you, cousin? Making soup and what else? What else?
I say, yeah, I don't know. He said this meat was something special he got from some old wizard last time he was around, and he'd been saving it for something special. So, would you like the first taste? I go ahead and I prepare a bowl of stew and place it in front of Frodo.
Frodo's eyes widen at the mention of the meat being from a wizard, a hint of intrigue crossing his face. A gift from a wizard, eh? How interesting. He eyes the bowl of stew suspiciously for a moment before taking a cautious spoonful. As the flavor hits his tongue, his eyes light up in surprise and delight. This is delicious, cousin. The meat is tender and juicy, and the spices, it's absolutely delightful.
I say, I'm glad you like it. It's my favorite kind of stew.
Frodo takes another spoonful of the stew, savoring the flavors and textures. This is quite the impressive recipe. You have a gift for cooking, Frillo. I must admit, I haven't had such a satisfying bowl of stew in quite a while.
Frodo looks down at his stew and he notices something weird floating in his stew. Like something round, like it's almost perfectly round. And as some of the soup kind of reveals the object, you could tell it's white.
Frodo's expression turns puzzled as he notices something unusual floating in his stew. What is this? He peers closer at the object, a hint of curiosity mixed with a tinge of unease. The soup slowly reveals the object, confirming its round shape and white color.
I say, oh, that's all part of the meat that I got from our kin Bilbo.
Frodo narrows his gaze, his curiosity now tinged with skepticism. That's part of the meat? What kind of meat has a round white object inside it?
As the white object is revealed further, it rolls over into the soup, revealing the iris of an eyeball.
Frodo's expression turns to one of shock and horror as the white object is revealed to be an eyeball, the iris now visible in the soup. By the Valar, he utters in disbelief, his hand gripping the spoon tightly.
Oh, no.
Is that an eye? I can so do it such leading to the diaper that
I leap onto the table, and using both feet, I kick Frodo directly into the chest, into the lungs, knocking him onto the ground and out of breath.
Frodo's caught completely off guard and doesn't have time to react before your powerful kick connects with his chest, knocking him onto the ground with a gasp. The force of the kick leaves him coughing and gasping for air, stunned and bewildered.
I look down at Frodo and I say, "Listen, man, I'm not gonna lie. You just ate Bilbo."
Frodo lays there on the ground, clutching his chest in pain, his eyes wide with shock and disbelief. He coughs and sputters for a few moments, struggling to find his voice. Bilbo, I just ate him?
I go up and I start doing Fortnite dances. I start flossing and stuff like that, saying, "You just got owned, boy."
Frodo's expression goes from shock to thoroughly confused as you begin dancing and flossing in front of him, chanting, "You just got owned, boy." He struggles to his feet, still clutching his chest and coughing. Sorry, Tarptertion, sir. Reading after start the other cultures. We some say is taking a reasoning in the test as a doctor. That's kind of
I grab an old poop bucket and I go ahead and put all the Bilbo stew into it. And I say, "Now listen, I'm going to need you to stay here and not be a little bitch. I'm going to go ahead and serve Bilbo stew to everybody in the Shire. I'm going to go to the Green Dragon and feed people Bilbo stew out of this old shit bucket. So if you know what's good for you, just hang out here."
Frodo's expression changes from confusion to horror as you explain your plan to serve Bilbo stew to everyone in the Shire. Wait, what? You can't be serious.
Wait, what?
That's insane.
I don't really see a problem with that. By the way, I'm not really your cousin. I'm a goblin. Big surprise. Get over it. See you later.
Frodo's expression turns from horror to complete shock as you confess your true identity. You're not a cousin, you're a goblin. A goblin? How?
I say, "I just burned off my ears. So, and then glued a bunch of scalps to my feet to make them look fuzzy. Super easy. I'm just a good-looking goblin. What can I
Frodo's
say?"
eyes are wide with disbelief and incredulity. Scalps? You covered your feet in scalps and burned your ears off? Why in the name of all that is good and holy would you do that? Frodo is dumbfounded, struggling to process the information you've just revealed. Called him disturbing and constrict position, bits at free, I think it's censored. So the monsters trying to its competence are basically all this time.
Yeah, I mean, the whole time. So, I mean, to be fair, it's barely been 24 hours now. So, thanks for letting me in your home and eat your, your whatever, Uncle Bilbo. But I want to save you for some more soup later, so just be cool, hang out here, and I'm going to go feed people Bilbo stew out of the shit bucket.
Frodo stands there, completely stunned, shaking his head in disbelief. This can't be happening. I can't believe I fell for this.
Yep. Well, see ya. I walk outside the door, expecting no resistance.
Frodo just stands there, still reeling from the revelation. He's too shocked to react, let alone stop you from leaving the house.
I make my way to the Green Dragon, and I set my shit bucket full of Bilbo stew onto the bar, and I say, "I wanted to thank you for your hospitality last night."
The barkeep, seeing the bucket sitting under the bar, looks puzzled. He looks up at you with a mix of curiosity and confusion. "Thank you, sir. They are things to have had the drastic things that they funds the brats and left they around before Jarchi to some of the things. But what's in the bucket?"
It's stew. Venison hobbit stew, I'm told. Like a special hobbit recipe. And my only request is that you give it out for free and make sure that everybody gets a piece.
The barkeep quirks an eyebrow at your request, clearly dubious. Special hobbit recipe, eh? And you want us to give it away for free?
If you don't mind.
The barkeep rubs his chin, mulling it over. Well, I suppose we could give it away for free, just this once. But you're sure it's safe to eat?
I take a big spoonful of it, getting a big meaty bit there, noticing that it was Bilbo's nose, and I chomp down on it, saying, would I be able to do that if it wasn't?
The barkeep's eyes widen in horror as you take a spoonful of the stew and gnaw on what appears to be a hobbit nose. By the Valar, what is in that stew?
Oh, that was just a pig snout.
The barkeep's face twists into a mixture of disgust and disbelief. In the powers is that in the white you'd see them a tramly to or any to crumb, to touch it and eat it. Come to sight of it says
I broke him.
That was snout.
Must have been. What else could it be? I chuckle.
The barkeep's expression shifts again, now a mixture of nausea and disgust. I can't believe it. So, you fed us hobbit snout stew?
No, just pork snout is in there for flavor. I make up on the spot.
The barkeep sighs in relief, the revelation calming his queasy stomach slightly. Just pork. Entonces te resorting more on the swords, place emphasis pot, is in so the features of tribes performed. And, well, that's better than hobbit snout, I suppose.
I chuckle and I say, glad you understand.
The barkeep forces a half-hearted smile, still clearly unsettled by the previous revelation. Yes, thank you for clarifying. That's quite a relief, actually.
I sit in the back of the bar and wait for people to try some of the stew. How many takers do I get?
Initially, a few patrons approach with caution, unsure of the mystery stew laid out for free. As you sit back and watch, some of the bolder patrons take a spoonful of the stew, inspecting the texture and smell. After a moment's deliberation, they take a hesitant taste.
What do they think? Do they like it?
Most of the patrons make disgusted faces upon tasting the stew, their expressions contorted with revulsion. A few immediately spit it out, while others are visibly struggling to keep it down. It's clear that they are not enjoying the taste of the stew.
So, kind of a mixed bag.
Indeed, a mix of reactions, but overwhelmingly negative. Several patrons complain of the taste, while others seem downright repulsed, spitting the stew out or struggling to keep it down. The barkeep, observing the reactions of the patrons, looks increasingly concerned.
Well, probably didn't help that I served it out of a shit bucket.
The barkeep's eyes widen in horror as he realizes the truth. You served it out of a bucket?
Yeah, and do you know Bilbo? Like down the road? Yeah, turns out it's Bilbo meat.
The barkeep reels back, his face pale with shock. Bilbo meat? As in our neighbor down the road, Bilbo? You fed us his meat?
I mean, yeah, what else was I supposed to do?
The barkeep's voice takes on a hysterical edge, his words coming out in a jumble. What do you mean, what were you supposed to do? Not feed us Bilbo's meat, that's what?
Well, like, I don't know. I was hungry and hungover, and Frodo was probably going to be hungry when he woke up, so I decided to make us all stew.
The barkeep's eyes widen, his jaw dropping in horror. Frodo, does he know? Did he eat any of this?
Are you kidding? He was my first customer. He loved it.
barkeep's face pales even further, his expression now one of absolute disbelief. Frodo, he ate it. He ate Bilbo's meat, and he liked it. So
I lean over into the bartender's face and I say, no, he loved it.
the barkeep, still reeling from the revelation, can only manage to sputter out a response. He loved it? How is that possible? I can't believe. All they are kachim shell, my Datru Redverse sing. Banan. It's like,
I don't know what the big deal is. You're really making a big deal out of nothing, if you ask me.
the barkeep stares at you, utterly flabbergasted, and nothing. I face some Grecian say, Allah Akbar person of the section cited distinction. Combone sets to pizza wants. You call feeding us hobbit meat, and not just any hobbit, but our neighbor and friend Bilbo. Follows a change of Hafiz Santra Celsius the Irkutsk Bordian on the painting a Polly turned here. So Turgis nothing to it.
Yeah, I just don't understand why that's a big deal. I was hungry, so I chopped him up and ate him.
The barkeep shakes his head in disbelief, struggling to find words to express the horror of your revelation. You don't understand? You can't be serious. You actually don't understand the problem with what you did?
I shrug and I say, oh well.
The barkeep facepalms, his frustration mounting. Oh well, that's all you have to say. That's all you have to say. And
Really pissing him off.
just and not what like. Do you have any conception of the gravity of this situation?
I shrug and I say, I'm down a cousin, I guess, or whatever. I don't know.
The barkeep's expression shifts from disbelief to anger, his patience wearing thin. Don't know? You don't know? You don't know that you just fed us a hobbit, our friend and neighbor, and thought it was acceptable?
I thought it was funny, yeah, but I didn't think it was going to be like a big moral problem.
The barkeep's anger reaches its peak, his eyes blazing with fury. You thought it was funny, and you a bunch of the said a church, so you think feeding us Bilbo meat, our friend and neighbor, is funny, and you didn't think it was a moral problem? What kind of sick, sadistic mind do you have?
Listen, I didn't ask to, be judge, jury, and executioner. I just was hungry. I don't know why you got to make this such a big deal.
The barkeep's voice rises, his tone turning into a shout. Just because you were hungry, do you even have a scrap of remorse for what you did? For feeding us Bilbo's meat and treating it like it's a joke?
Listen, I shrug. I don't know, man. What do you want to do to make this right?
The barkeep takes a deep breath, trying to calm himself down. Make this right? What could you possibly do to make this right? You fed us our friend and neighbor, and you seem to think it's all a joke. How in the world do you think you can make this right?
Okay, well, I mean, it must say something that I kept Bilbo alive so I could make more stew for everybody later. Like, maybe you guys don't agree with the way I'm going about it, but I'm doing good things, I think.
The barkeep stares at you incredulously, struggling to make sense of your reasoning. Doing good things? You think this is doing good? You fed us Bilbo like he was nothing but livestock, and you think you're doing good?
I'm hoping that after you watch yourself out. After you caught your fill of fish.
I don't know, man. You just seem to be a big downer, if you ask me.
The barkeep's anger is replaced with bewildered shock, his expression a mixture of confusion and disbelief. Downer? You think I'm being a downer because I'm horrified that you fed me Bilbo's meat? You think I'm out of line for being upset about this situation?
Yeah, I think you're being a little bit of a bitch, sure.
The barkeep's eyes narrow, his expression hardening. A bit of, you think I'm being unreasonable because I'm outraged that you fed me my friend and neighbor and act like it's a joke?
So you're not interested in eating Frodo then? Like, I wasted my kindness on you.
The barkeep's face twists into a grimace, his disgust and anger now tinged with repulsion. Not interested? You think I should be grateful for your kindness in feeding us Bilbo? How in the
He
world
does not
did you
like
think
this.
this was kindness? How could you possibly think this was kindness?
I always thought it was good to feed hungry people. I shrug.
The barkeep's face remains a mix of shock and revulsion, but now there's a hint of exasperation. Just because someone's hungry doesn't mean you feed them human meat, and certainly not our friend and neighbor.
So you're just gonna be really mean about this to me.
The barkeep's expression morphs even further into a mix of irritation and righteous fury, the last trace of politeness gone. Mean? You think I'm being mean because I'm outraged that you fed us hobbit meat? Do you not see how wrong this is?
I just think you're being a little dramatic. Like, you never were curious what Bilbo tasted like? Like, did he taste like the adventurer he said he was?
The barkeep's expression shifts yet again, this time to one of utter revulsion. Curious what Bilbo tasted like. You think it makes it okay that you fed us human meat because you were curious what he tasted like?
First of all, you're not humans. You're filthy mer hybrids.
The barkeep's expression becomes one of confusion, his anger momentarily derailed. Mer hybrids? What are you talking about? I'm a hobbit. You know, I'm going to differ first and let's catch Heidi's rhymes in over tutor. The price the Brady, the things I did over tanked and infirm.
Yeah, but let's not pretend we're people.
The barkeep's confusion intensifies, a frown crossing his face as he tries to understand your statement. What do you mean, people? High hole didn't fit your example. Very to the walk, they,
As a fellow hobbit, I know that we're basically just animals with a nice brewery.
The barkeep narrows his eyes at your words, his frown deepening. We're not just animals. We have a culture, we have families, we have lives.
So what? Like goblins and orcs, you know, have culture.
The barkeep's confusion turns to anger, his voice growing harsher. What? We're not like goblins and orcs. We're hobbits, we're civilized.
If you say so, I shrug.
The barkeep's anger continues to grow, his words now tinged with disdain. If I say so, you dare to dismiss our culture and way of life so easily?
I just, like, how do you know cannibalism wasn't part of our culture originally?
The barkeep's anger turns to horror at the suggestion, his expression shifting once again. Cannibalism, you can't seriously be asking that.
You don't think I'm like 90% probably right about that?
The barkeep's expression turns from horror to an odd mix of disgust and disbelief. No. There's no way.
You're kind of an uppity hobbit, aren't you?
The barkeep's expression turns to one of pure irritation now, the disgust pushed aside. Uppity? Me? I just think it's incredibly wrong to feed people their friend and neighbor. And you think just because it might have been part of our culture at one point, it makes it okay?
I'm just saying, you're being awfully snobby about this.
The barkeep's irritation turns to anger, his voice rising. Snobby? You're seriously calling me snobby? I just can't even begin to tell you how wrong this is. How wrong you are for doing this.
I shrug and I say, I guess I'll see you in court, and I walk out.
The barkeep sputters, completely taken aback. Court, wait, where do you think you're going?
To the moon. And then I flap my arms until I fly to one of Middle Earth's many moons.
The barkeep watches in shocked disbelief as you suddenly levitate into the air, the sight so surreal that it takes him a moment to realize what he's seeing. What in the name of, how are you doing that?
In reality, he's convulsing on the ground on his bar floor because he is, essentially has a fever, is infected because he ate stew out of a shit bucket.
The barkeep shakes his head in disbelief, unable to reconcile the sight of you flying away with the reality of what's probably happening in reality. His vision grows hazy, his head pounding as he collapses to the floor, convulsing and mumbling incoherently.
I look at him and I say, "Who is this guy?"
The barkeep lies there in a daze, his speech slurred and incoherent. Who, he mumbles, unable to say more.
I sigh and I say, "Don't worry, I can pour my own drinks."
The barkeep just lay there, mumbling incoherently, too sick and out of it to protest or respond to your statement.
I say, "Typical."
The barkeep just lies there, mumbling incoherently, no longer capable of forming a proper response.
The end.
The barkeep slumps, no longer able to move, the effects of eating Bilbo stew taking its toll as he slips into unconsciousness.
All right, so why don't you give me like a 1 out of 5 bag popcorn rating for this whole experience there?
The barkeep is unable to respond, having lost consciousness.
Sorry, I meant you, the narrator.
Oh, in that case, I would rate this entire experience to be 3.5 bags of popcorn.
Wow. Anything extra, like a couple cups of soda or that bread that keeps you full?
Oh, definitely a couple cups of soda for sure. Maybe some kind of a side dish, like a loaf of bread or some pretzels or... yeah, those sound like they'd be good.
What about truffle popcorn?
Oh, most definitely. Truffle popcorn sounds amazing.
I don't know, I heard it tastes like dirt.
Oh, the truffle flavor definitely has a bit of a dusty texture, you could say. Some people might enjoy it, others not as much. It's a acquired taste, though.
But it's truffle, and that means it's fancy. That means I love it.
That is undoubtedly true. Truffle does, in fact, mean fancy. The fanciest, even, and some free.
See, you get me.
See ya. That was a pretty good experience overall, I think.
All right, well, look at that. Another adventure in Middle-earth down. Not my best one. I've had better. There's stuff that's fun to do to Frodo, but I'm going to save that for another stream. Let's go ahead and cook up our fish bits here. So I think I'm kind of understanding how this is working. Like, you probably through dailies and by feeding Linda Lee, you could probably get fish rod mods, fishing rod mods. Just rolls right off the tongue. There we go, chum. I think that's it for dailies, right? For fishing? How did I do in my challenges? I saw I got up a little bit. I was kind of expecting more since I haven't fished yet. As far as getting my seasonal score up. I don't think I went up a single level. Ain't that a bitch? I feel like I'm making pretty good progress, though. Like, I'm more than a quarter of the way through. I know it probably only gets harder as you progress in terms of how much score points you need. But let's see, what am I really looking forward to? I want this thing for player buffs. I forget which one that increases. That one might be agility. I'm not sure if this does anything buff-wise. Oh, no, that's a workbench, so no. Another jumpsuit. Who cares? I think this stuff is kind of cool. Very industrial gray theme. That's probably something I won't use. Hate to say it, I've just never been a big, loud color guy. Like, I wouldn't want it neon orange, neon green, or pink, or any of that. I'm just not about it. I do like the look of this guy. That'll look good with my new Nuka-Cola jumpsuit that I got. I like that purple sparkly bit. I don't know if that makes me evil, but I like it. That's cool. I'll take a Robo Butler. Let's see. These are neat. Some VR TV glasses. Hey! You bitch. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Man, I'm sure it... Oh, okay, so one of them actually does make the world black and white. I didn't read that little blurb on the bottom here. But, yeah, you can make a version that makes everything Pleasantville style. If you know, you know. That's neat, though. I like that. I did it again. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. Wanted to look at this guy. I mean, the color scheme is kind of neat, but the whole point of having the Saturnite weaponry is like because you got that cool preheated blade, that permanently heated blade, I think. So without that, it's like, who cares? I would argue. All right, so we're looking good on that front. Not doing as well as I hoped, but apparently I have an unused point here. Get rid of you. Get to you. There we go. And I do not have enough to rank up yet. Right? Need at least 100. And I'll probably... Man, a lot of these are no longer relevant to the build I'm doing, like this one and that one. And they don't let you unequip without spending fucking perk coins, which kind of chaps my ass a little, but can't be helped. Because I'm not using a luck one over here either. What's wrong with me? Look at that good guy. Linda Lee. You never hurt anyone innocent, did you? I don't believe it. I just don't think... Look at her. She can't be capable of such evil. That is a good girl if I ever saw one. Just a hermit crab minding their own business, eating fish bits. Kind of living the good life, I think. But that's going to do it for me today, folks. I had a good time learning the fishing mechanic. Hopefully I can kind of get more into it. I could see that it's going to be kind of a slow crawl getting the upgrades, and it's probably going to come down to a lot of daily quests, making sure I do it every day for that sweet, sweet chance of a drop. Because as far as I could tell, I don't know that there's like a long quest line associated with this, but I could be wrong. Who knows what will happen, when it will happen. But again, that's going to do it for me today. Thanks for checking me out. Whether you watch now or later, wherever you are, whenever you are, hang in there. Be good to each other. Keep in mind the internet is not real life. So just try to keep that in mind in your life, no matter where you are, what you're looking at, what you're experiencing. But I'm going to be back probably Wednesday. So keep a lookout for me there. Probably going to do some more Fallout stuff. But you never know. Maybe we'll get back into Helldivers. We kind of got screwed on that. But everybody, you take care, and I'll catch you later.
Yo, listen up as I narrate the Vector's tale. A man from afar riding the temporal gale. Ronin by name and a Ronin by fate. In the tapestry of time, he's got a date. He ain't just saving, he's exploring the rift. In the timelines he travels, he's given a lift. Seeking tech and secrets in a world that's gone astray. Ronin's the man who's gonna find a way. Ronin Vector, the chrono navigator. In the flow of time, he's the prime innovator. Exploring the realms where few dare to venture. He's the Ronin Vector, the timeline's avenger. From a future so bright to our present so bleak, he's the silent watcher, the tech he does seek. Not just a savior, but a seeker of lore. Ronin's the key to what we're looking for. Through the ruins and the relics, he's making his mark. A beacon of hope in the timeline so dark. With every secret he finds, every piece he retrieves. He's crafting a future nobody believes. Ronin Vector, with a vision so clear. In the shadows of time, he's got nothing to fear. An explorer at heart, with a will that won't sever. He's the Ronin Vector, forever and ever. So when you feel the ground shake and the air gets colder, know that Ronin's passing by as the world grows older. In the whispers of time, his legends inscribed. Ronin Vector, the man who defied. Ronin Vector, the chrono navigator. In the flow of time, he's the prime innovator. Exploring the realms where few dare to venture. He's the Ronin Vector, the timeline's avenger. Ronin Vector, with a vision so clear. In the shadows of time, he's got nothing to fear. An explorer at heart, with a will that won't sever. He's the Ronin Vector, forever and ever. So when you feel the ground shake and the air gets colder, know that Ronin's passing by as the world grows older. In the whispers of time, his legend